What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Tony Hadnot, aka the Nocturnist, and I'm here with my bro,
Kin folk, and we are.
Super Hadnot Bros. We are a podcast about nothing because a conversation about nothing is a conversation about any and everything.
Yeah, man.
Whew. um, yeah, it's really about nothing. So, before we get into this conversation, if you are watching this on YouTube or wherever, make sure that you get to YouTube to watch more of this stuff by hitting the subscribe button, hitting the notification bell, making sure that you like and share and comment and just enjoying all the content. So, let's get into it.
Yeah, man.
Um, Man, kind of been on a
It's,
little bit of a hiatus.
yeah. We had a couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? Well, we just timing, scheduling was kind of crazy.
Yeah. I'd say it's been a man. It's been real crazy here lately. I know you kind of getting ready to do your turnarounds, right?
Yeah, next month on the 13th is when I'm supposed to start. It might start a little earlier, but you never know.
Right. And man, I've been like mad busy with the photography. I went back to go do the school photos for the spring, and
Yeah.
been doing like the portrait work. And man, I just got to give a shout out real quick to King Tiger Taekwondo in Cypress, Texas. Um, went up
Shout
there and
out to
did
y'all, man. That's a
yeah,
dope
yeah.
ass man.
Say what?
That's a
Huh?
dope ass name.
Yeah, 100%. Are we delayed?
Nah, I can hear you pretty much.
Nah, I'm a little delayed on my end. Let's see.
Yeah.
Man, I might. Yeah, I wanted to catch back up. That's whack.
It should.
Yeah, hold on. I might have to restart the broadcast. Let's see. What am I saying? How many fingers am I holding up?
One,
How many now?
two.
Okay, so it's delayed by like a couple seconds. All right.
Yep. Something like that.
So anyhow, yeah. So yeah, King Tiger Taekwondo Cypress. Definitely appreciate working with you guys. I went up there and shot like the entire school. A lot of people ordered photos, all that good stuff. So man, big
Yeah.
shout out to them. That's kind of part of the reason why we haven't been on like we normally are. So, you know, hey man, when that money call, gotta go get it.
Got it. What's
So
happening,
yeah,
MJ?
what's been going on? What's been going on in your world?
Man, just working right now. I've been working these weekends, just like Fridays and Saturdays to try to catch up. So when we get off turnaround, we won't be behind. Um, so I just been busy working and you know trying to get it together,
Just the
man. Starting off the year
regular.
good.
Hey, you always got to start it off good, man. So have you been
Yeah.
into anything going on pop culture wise, or TV, movies, music?
I've been tripping lately on this the QC quality control. You seen them? They sold their business for 300 million.
Quality control.
Yeah. I don't listen to none of their artists, but I just think as a business, it was probably some of the dumbest shit you ever seen. They pretty much like over the Migos and
Mm-hmm.
some other people just like them or whatever. I don't know shit. But supposedly they make a lot of money. They got a lot of these new artists, but they sold a business for 300 million to some Asian people.
Oh, word?
And then they made a statement because everybody was calling them like sellouts and whatnot. And they kept saying, "Man, we ain't selling out, blah blah blah, this and that." But it kind of is.
I mean, if you sell a business,
You sold out.
you sold out. I mean, it's clearly the words are literally in the action.
You
So
sold out.
you clearly sold out. But you said it sold for 300 million?
Yeah, so I believe it was something like 250 million cash, and then like the remainder to end up being like 320 something million or something like that was like in uh in stock,
Yeah. Oh,
like which like basically shares within the company. So,
yeah.
but if they was willing to give you 300 million, what you think the business was worth?
Probably more than that.
Way more than that. So say
Probably
they
more
just
than
they
that.
just shot y'all 300 million. in the next 10 years, they probably done made 900 million off of you.
Yeah, 100%.
And
100%.
now that they making the money, you have no ownership. You don't have none of this stuff.
Yeah,
And now they
once
have
everything is
control.
sold, once it's sold, it's sold.
They got
That's just
control now. So they
that's the
can
name of
tell
the
you,
game.
hey, we don't like the music y'all making. We need y'all to make this type of music. We don't like the content y'all put out. We need to change. You can do they can do whatever they want because they have ownership now. So now we
So
have these black
all
dudes.
the artists and all that went with the company.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Wow. So that means no control. So like if and again, of course, that depends on the owners that buy it. You know, some people can be like, no, we want it to work this way. And then some people could just be like, all right, well, we just want to do the business side of it. As far as creativity goes, hey, y'all do what y'all do. But that's kind of hard to say. It just really depends on who's running the show. So
It kind of don't matter though, because you can sit there and say, like that's what they were doing. They was trying to be like on some we made it out the mud type shit, and people ain't y'all never seen this kind of money. So when the opportunity comes, we took it. Yeah, that sounds great, but if you made it out the mud to get to the millions that you was getting, you could be getting the money that they feel to get off of you.
yeah. Well, like I always say, that's why it's always good to go indie anyway. I mean, it's a harder ground, but at least
They
the
gonna make
money
them
you
wear
making.
dresses, MJ. Yeah,
Ain't they
probably right.
already doing that shit?
I don't think they're making these niggas wear dresses. They doing it on their own now, man. These niggas
I
think
say
crazy.
these cats are wearing dresses just because they want to.
Yeah, this is what it is.
But I mean, I do feel it. Like I can honestly see it with the labels. You know, we always talk about it. Like when the artist, if an artist pop off, like say for instance, if an artist changes the game and pops off, then everybody, all the other labels and stuff want to follow suit. So if
Right.
like let's use Lil Nas X for example. If he wanted
Yeah.
to wear a dress and makeup, all right, well, whatever label he with already got that going. So the next label gonna be like, oh, we need a Lil Nas X. So we're
Yeah.
gonna go find that rap off the street that don't do nothing like Lil Nas X. We're gonna notice his talent and be like, hey, let's reel you in real quick. And then when they reel him in, they're gonna be like, all right, well, we like what you're doing, but let's make a couple changes here and there. Next thing you know, his ass wearing a dress.
Yeah.
So that's just that's I guess that's just the nature of the beast, man. Not necessarily saying that it's a good nature. Hey, everybody do their thing, but you know how it is, man. It's just
Yeah.
trends, right?
All
So
about the trends, dog.
yeah, never been a fan of those things, man. Never been
But
a fan.
I just don't like the fact that, you know what I'm saying, all these people want to say, man, we need black business and black this and black that. And then when you have it, the moment somebody dangle a little bit of money in your face, you're like, you can have all of the shit I worked off for, and then I'm gonna complain later when they making billions off of it, and I don't have nothing to do with it no more. You sold out, bro. It is what it is.
But you know what? Another thing is that whenever they do make those kinds of deals, I feel like there may be some because I mean we're talking about a $300 million purchase here.
Yeah.
So with a purchase like that, there's got to be some sort of I would I'm thinking I'm not speaking for these guys. I'm just hoping that if they're smart, okay, it's cool to sell the business, do what you got to do, right? But say for instance, if I built this business from the ground up and I sell this business to you, at least I want to say, okay, well, look, I'm parting ways with this business, but I'm not about to like 100% part ways with it. So y'all can do what y'all want to do, but I want to make sure that I get this much going on, or creatively, like this needs to happen, so on and so forth. Like there's got to be some sort of fine print instead of just letting that shit go and just letting these people do what they want to do. Because at the end of
No,
the day, the people buying it just want to get it. It's a cash cow. They just want the money off of
yeah.
it.
And then they can make money off of it. But the
Yeah.
Ti actually broke it down and was like, they need to start doing better. Instead of selling, what they need to do is lease. You can lease your company and basically the rights to all of these artists for 10 years. And then after them 10
Yeah.
years, you regain the ownership, and you basically
Yeah.
just leased it out to them for 10 years and stuff, but you still own it. But they just
Yeah.
sold it. They ain't coming
Yeah.
back.
Leasing is a smart way to do things, and licensing is a smart way to do things.
Yeah,
Because when you license shit out, licensing and leasing are almost kind of the same.
same
It's like
thing.
basically saying that you can use this name to do what you got to go do. You make all the money, but but I'm
Right.
getting something off of that. You know what I'm
And then
saying? So
when your little 10 years is done, you have nothing else connected to this. It comes back
yeah,
to me 100.
unless you want to re up, unless
And
you
then
know,
but your re-up, you'll be a little more now next time.
yeah. No, that would be
But
the smartest thing to do.
I'll never 100% sell it to somebody though. That's the whole problem. They
Yeah.
just doing it and want to complain about it later. Don't bitch and then tell everybody you not selling out. You sold out, nigga.
Yeah, especially in that industry. Like I could see if I was in that industry and I built a record label, right? And then all of a sudden I wanted to venture out into other industries like restaurants and stuff like that. Like the restaurant shit, all right, maybe if it's like a one restaurant or one place restaurant, but if it was something that franchised out, then maybe I'd be like, nah, I ain't gonna just sell it. I'm gonna let it go. Or if it was like a barbershop or you know what I'm saying, some
Yeah.
shit like that. But when it comes to like a whole ass record label, nah. I ain't.
Can't do it, dog. Especially if I built it from ground up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because you put too much into it. There's no
And
way I'm just
I
gonna
can
let
see
that
my
shit go.
worth in it. I see what we worth. And you giving me 300 million lets me know you see something else in here that way it's gonna be worth either
If
triple,
they,
double, quadruple, whatever. So I
if
don't
the
have
person
time to
that,
be just giving you money.
if the person that bought it could afford to pay 300 million for it, yes, your worth is definitely higher than that because they have much more money than that to spend.
Yeah.
300 million, they just like, okay, well, let me go ahead and part ways with the 300 million. You already know anybody that's spending over $100 million is already probably damn near in billionaire territory.
So now if you
So
want to start making these ventures again, you got to change. You got to make a whole new label because you don't have nothing to do with them unless you go work for them niggas. Now you working for the company that you created. That's dumb as hell.
but that may not necessarily be the bad thing either, though. The only thing that would be different is okay, if you had to create a new label, you already had a successful label, you already know what the blueprint is to build that label. At this point, now it's just trying to figure out how to make it work for today instead of what worked back then. So once you
Right.
figure out whatever it is that makes it really makes it flourish, because what we do today is not the same as what we did yesterday, even as far as the business aspect. But if as long as you got like a basic blueprint, I don't think it would be that difficult. It's just more or
Yeah.
less just trying to find the right artist, the right style, look, so on and so forth to make it work. Because I mean, I hate to say it, the music industry is a trendy industry.
Yeah, man.
So you got to be able to
I got
follow it.
cookie cutter artists, bro, where they just
Yeah,
cut them out. So, but it may not hit the same way.
it may not, but I don't know. It could. Who knows?
Yeah.
Hey, tell him to hop on, MJ. Tell him to hop
Huh?
on. He say, Uncle Marlo pulled up. They tell him to hop on YouTube.
Yeah, yeah, man. Tell them to jump
Um,
on this thing.
but yeah, man. So let me go
Yeah,
ahead and
go
talk
ahead, get
about
into
it,
the
man.
artists. I see the frustration. I know what we going.
All right, y'all. So I'm a little late to the party. All right,
We'll
look. Say what?
go ahead, man. I already know where we going, so just get it off your chest.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm a little late to the party. I just watched Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever, like last week.
Yeah.
I'm I'm not happy about it.
All
I'm not
right.
happy about it. I
What's wrong with it, man?
It's too much wrong with it. Um,
Come on.
I feel like
Let's break
story
it down.
wise, yeah, we could break it down, but and spoilers for those who haven't seen it. It's spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it, stop watching this. Come back and watch it later. Go watch the movie first, and then come back to it. But um, first and foremost, I didn't like the storyline. The
Right.
storyline felt like it was all over the place. I felt like there were a lot of things that could have been done differently in the storyline. Visually, of course, it looked great. I mean, it's
Yeah. It
Disney's
looked
behind it.
amazing.
They're gonna always put the money behind it to make it look good.
Yeah.
There were some casting choices that I didn't necessarily. Well, one in particular that I didn't
Ooh.
necessarily care for, and
Oh, Riri.
we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it, and then also, man, dang, I just lost my train of thought. Really and truly, there was nothing really in the movie that stood. There was only one part of the movie that I really
What's
actually
happening, dog?
appreciated. You know, what's going on, huh? There was only one part of the movie that I really appreciated, but even in that part, wasn't just like wow.
Yeah.
So, um, storyline wise, what really made me mad about it was like I felt like is it Namor? I know we've always been saying Namor, but is it Namor? Is that how you pronounce it?
I think they just wanted to put that shit on there like that, man. It was just like, why?
Maybe to kind of give it the Latin flavor because apparently they were Mexican, right?
Yeah.
Like it were in Mexico.
Yeah.
I think, or South America, somewhere over there. But
Yeah,
it wasn't like I don't want to just say. I mean, I know Hispanic is a more broader choice, but I really want to say they were like in Mexico.
yeah. They were
Um,
Aztecs.
yeah. So Namor probably kind of gives it that, you know what I'm saying, that flavor. But anyhow,
Yeah,
I just I felt like he was a layered character. I do feel like he was a layered character. He was definitely one of the more complex characters in the movie altogether.
yeah.
But I didn't like his motive. Like his motive just seemed kind of foul to me. Like it was a really like and we talked about this the other day, but I felt like he was having a hissy fit over nothing. Basically, what was the name? What was the name of the city? It wasn't Atlantis. It was something else. Well, like it started with a T. T-
Talicon, something
Talaka,
like that.
Talaka, whatever it was. Basically,
Whatever.
it was basically Wakanda, but like underwater. So like they
Right.
fled to go live underwater. They were able to breathe and all this other stuff. They were basically like mer people. It was a Little Mermaid, but like
Yeah.
Marvel style. He got pissed off because they got detected. That was what it really seemed like. They got found
Which
out.
is
He was just like, huh?
which is fine. He didn't want people to know. They wasn't trying to be on the market. Wakanda wasn't doing the same thing until T'Challa decided he wanted to bring it out to the world. So he didn't want people to know about it. So he got
Yeah,
pissed.
but I'm saying, like, was it worth a fight? Like,
It
was it
shouldn't have
worth
been
that?
because Wakanda should have just been like, okay, bet you want this girl dead, go kill her, bro, and it is what it is. But
Yeah.
they wanted to save her, and they put themselves in the middle of it, and that's where everything came
They
from.
put themselves in the middle of the situation, yeah, and it got way worse than what it was. But to me, I just felt like Namor was having a big hissy fit and was like, "Oh, I got to go kill this girl." So I get I get that in the story, but as
Yeah,
far as it being a story, like they could have wrote a better story,
yeah,
personally. Um, one thing that I really, really, really did not like about the movie was that, and this is I think this is something that's been happening in all of Phase 4 of the MCU, right? Is that they've really been hardcore focused on like representation more than storytelling, and
right,
that was a clear example of that in this movie. It was like, okay, well, we got Namor, he's representing all the Latino people.
right.
You got, of course, Wakanda representing Black people, but then we got Shuri as the lead, basically representing all the women, which I'm
Look, I
not
don't even
necessarily
know if they
mad at.
wanted her representing women. To be honest, she almost looked like she was trying to be like non-binary. You couldn't tell her thing.
Yeah, because you almost kind of saw that chemistry between her and Riri. You
I
kind of
thought,
saw that
yeah,
between them two.
okay. See, I thought Namor was gonna bang her out, and I thought Riri was gonna bang her out. So
Right.
she kind of could have been anything. She dressed. It wasn't.
Over the masculine or over
It
feminine.
was right. It was kind of in between, but it was still not something that a man would wear.
Yeah, but I mean, but even in all of that, I'm not mad about necessarily showcasing representation. I feel like
Right.
it's very needed, it's very necessary in these movies. But again, it's where representation takes the front seat instead of what an actual story is. Like Black Panther 1, I felt like was really dope because not only did it focus on representation, but it really hit some like, you know, some social issues and all this other stuff. Like it was a really great story. This time it was like everything was just more so surface level.
That's
You
all
know
it
what I
was.
mean?
It was dumb as
Yeah,
hell.
it just felt very surface level. Okay, well, let's represent the non-binary or LGBTQ and all this other stuff. Let's represent Black people. Let's represent Hispanics and so on and so forth. Like they didn't really need to do all of that. They could have just,
Right.
yeah, exactly, exactly. They were all they were, and I'll take that back. It's not so much to me about the politics. It's just in the manner that they try to showcase the politics. Like I said, it was very surface level politics.
Yeah.
So what you see on the outside, they didn't really dive deep into like what the representation was about. It was just more so, hey, let's just put these people in this movie so that we can bring in this audience and make a lot of money off of it. That's how
Yeah.
I felt about Wakanda 2. You know, and I
It
think
was
that was
it was just too much about the race, and then the whole equality portion of it. They really did. Wakanda did away with the men completely. Them niggas didn't have nothing to do.
yeah, there was not a strong male presence in this movie, you know, which again, if Shuri wants to take the lead, that's fine. But like, don't make us look, you know what I'm saying? Don't make us look weak. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, and it's crazy because I did watch this one video on YouTube once where they were talking about that, like how woke Hollywood is, and they were talking about like, especially when it comes to female leads. You
Right.
know, let's take like Captain Marvel or Shuri or whoever, so on and so forth. Like, yeah, they can be strong female leads, but they don't have to be like these, like, ha ha ha, I'm woman, hear me roar, you know, type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it was damn near almost feminist in a sense
Right,
of the way
because
it's
it turns
done.
into like every dude tells them in their face is just like you will never be nothing because you're not a man,
Well,
and it's like
and that's
that's not how reality works.
and that's what this video pinpoint of. If you take female leads from back in the day, like let's take Sarah Connor for example from Terminator.
No, she took the
Okay,
lead, but nobody
she
had to
took the
say
lead.
because she was a woman.
She was a badass. She was a badass character. She was down to fight. She was ready to do all this, but she still showcased what it meant to be human, not even
Right.
just being a woman, to be human. And as like she was still a mother. So when she had moments where she had to feel protective of a John, her son, you would see her get sad. You would see her cry. You would see her
Yeah.
have these moments where, you know, things that girls do. You know what I'm
Right. But
saying?
she never made comments like I'm better than you because I'm a woman.
Right, right. And that's where I think people get the whole equality thing kind of fucked up. It's like it's not so much about that women can't do things that men can do, but there are certain qualities and traits that we all carry that makes us who we are. And like I feel like Marvel didn't do that. Like they tried to do it with Shuri with her being all pissed off about her brother being dead, but it was like, well, did they even mention how he died in the movie?
That nigga had a virus or some shit.
Okay, so he had a virus in the movie. So why
Yeah.
is she so pissed off about that? I mean, I understand losing. First and foremost, I can't. I've never lost a sibling. God forbid that does not happen for quite some time.
Right.
I can get the fact that that would be very painful. That would hurt, and you may even feel some sort of anger. But it was like, where was like the anger that she had was just like what was it for? You know what I
It
mean?
was dumb because for one, they fucked up the timeline because somewhere in there he was gone because his old lady was busy being pregnant and having a baby and nobody even mentioned and whatever. Like, why would he hide that shit from everybody? So for him to be back at Wakanda, and you know, he was supposed to be in the facility whenever he passed.
Yeah.
It was like, where was he before? What happened? How did he end up getting this sickness? It didn't matter at this point. And she was trying to create the herb to bring him back and couldn't do it in time.
Yeah. And that was another thing as far as T'Challa. Like they really didn't give a lot of backstory on at least T'Challa's death. Of course, we all know Chadwick Boseman. He had passed well before the movie was made, so like we couldn't use him to tell
Right.
backstory. But I felt like they didn't really give like they gave tribute, but I felt like it wasn't enough. It was just kind of like throw his picture on that billboard
And they call it a day.
in the scene and let's
Make
call
some
it a
people
day.
cry. That's it.
Like I felt like it wasn't very heartfelt. I felt like they really didn't do it as justice. So
Yeah.
that's that. But as far as Marvel goes,
Where the fuck was everybody else? Where the fuck was everybody else when this nigga died? Nobody went to his funeral. None of them.
oh, you talk about like the Avengers and all
yeah,
them?
where the fuck was these niggas?
That's true. None of them was the well, Captain America's old, Tony Stark is dead. But you still got War Machine. You still like all these people that he fought with, Captain Marvel, the fucking Galaxy people,
he met
Thor, all of them. None of them were there.
The whole war. Where the fuck was that when he died?
That's true. They all kept it in Wakanda. And it ain't like the Avengers don't know where Wakanda is.
They been there.
They've been there like a couple times. You know? So that is a good question. What happened, Kevin Feige or Ryan Coogler? What happened? Why weren't they there?
That's some bullshit.
But there was one thing that I did notice in the movie that they said that Submariner said when he said that I think he said that he was the first mutant. If I'm not mistaken,
he announced it, but this is not the first time they said mutant in the MCU.
No, it's not the first time that they said mutant in the MCU, but he said that he was the first mutant. And at first I was like, all right, maybe it's just MCU just basically saying that he's a mutant. But I did go look it up. Submariner is indeed a mutant.
Yeah.
But my point of being is that they were wrong for saying that he is the first mutant unless the MCU is about to change some shit up because he's not the first mutant.
What, the first mutant was supposed to be Apocalypse?
The first mutant I thought was Apocalypse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but all that being said, I know that just gets us that much closer to an MCU X-Men movie.
Well, we already know it's coming. I just need them to do it right. Because
You know what?
they're gonna have to redo Fantastic Four and
Yeah,
and do it right this time. They're gonna have to do all of that shit over.
I honestly feel like with the shit that the MCU's been getting now, with the way Phase 4 went, like they're gonna really have to come with their A game on Phase 5. Because I want to say, when does Phase 4 end? Phase 4 ends after the next big Avengers movie. Like
Yeah.
they're fixing to get ready to fight Kang, right?
Yeah, but
Basically.
I don't even know how that's gonna work because he's gonna be in Ant-Man like a lot. And they can't just defeat him. And if they do, it won't be able to be like, oh, we gonna just say we defeated one version of this nigga, and then he comes back as a more eviler nigga. Like, how does that work?
Maybe, I don't know, but it seems like Kang is supposed to be the next big bad guy as
Yeah,
far as everybody collectively getting into this big massive war. Because what is it, the Secret Wars, or what's the big one?
we got Secret Wars, and we got the Scroll Wars, the Scroll Invasion.
The Scroll Invasion. So is that gonna be another two-part, kind of like how Endgame and Infinity War was?
Scrolls is gonna be something completely separate.
Something completely different. Okay. Well, fact of the matter is, whatever they do once they get past this phase, they have to really kind of come hard with Phase 5 if they want to stay afloat. Because right now, it's not looking good for them. Not, and it's not even just on the wokeness of the movie. Because even like, going back to like Thor: Love and Thunder, Thor: Love and Thunder was not good, bro.
It was
Like
just
it
a
was
trash movie.
trash. It was trash. It was not. It was unfunny. They tried to use the same thing that they did with Thor 3, and I'm not gonna get back into that because we talked about that already. But
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying? Basically, it just seemed like everything that they have been dropping this particular phase of the MCU has just been bullshit. It's just been straight bullshit.
they've been
Everything from the
allowing new
movies to the TV
directors
series.
and people to come in and fuck up the whole thing.
Yeah, it just, I don't know. I honestly felt like they've gotten very comfortable and they're not really putting a lot of creativity behind a lot of the stuff, man.
Yeah,
Which is what made it good, in the beginning. But here's my little crackpot theory:
go
is
ahead,
that
run it.
this is where I feel like MCU was on the verge of the downfall. It was when they went cosmic with all the stories. Because in hindsight, because I'm not gonna sit here and act like Phase 1, 2, and 3 were just they had the greatest movies. There was some shitty movies there too.
Had a couple of them that wasn't good.
The first Thor was not good.
They didn't know
Like,
how
let's
to
keep it
do it though.
100%. Yeah, it was very anticlimactic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it seemed like Loki was the bad guy, but the big battle was the big fucking destroyer or whatever it was called.
And he was weak as shit.
Yeah, that was kind of whack. Thor 2 was not good. Iron Man 3 was not great. So like they had their bad movies, but there were a lot of movies, like everything that was like on Earth,
Yeah.
as far as it goes, seemed well. Because even if Thor, the first couple of Thor movies were trash,
No,
at
because
least when he came,
when you think about it, Guardians of the Galaxy was still good. The first one.
the first one was. But it just I don't know. It just seemed kind of goofy when they started getting ready when they started taking shit out of space.
Yeah,
Like,
they just started fucking up everything. And now we got such a big timeline, they can almost do anything they want. We can kill people off and then bring them back because they're in a different universe.
well,
It don't matter no more.
that's because I honestly feel like because they're trying to run it like how comics do. Like, when does a comic book story ever end?
It never does.
It never ends, right? So, like, business wise, it makes a lot of sense because it's like, all right, well, hey, we got the right people to make. We're talking about the beginning of the MCU. We got the right people making these movies. We're telling great stories. We're doing all this good stuff. Like, we can continue this shit on and on and on and on and on. But just like in the comic books, because the comic books can get kind of goofy too. Like, the comic books ain't really just got great stories no more.
Right.
They just milking the hell out of it to try to make money. It's almost what the MCU is doing. It's kind of following in their same footsteps, except that now it's in
that's
its
why
own
you would
little...
have, like, you got Spider-Man, you got Amazing Spider-Man, you got Spectacular Spider-Man, you got Ultimate Spider-Man, you got all that. Those are different timelines.
Yeah, all those different things going on. So it just feels like at this point, I think it's gonna kind of like implode upon itself at one point, at some point here very soon.
Well,
Unless they
they
start
fucking up
writing
enough
some
that they'll
good
just
shit.
lose their core audience on comic book fans in general.
Yeah, I mean, I almost seeing it being kind of like Star Wars. You know how Star Wars people, they love like the first three, right? What was it? Star Wars, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, sure.
Like, people love those movies, but then everything after that, they're kind of like, eh. we'll go see it just
but
because.
they're not as excited about it. Yeah,
Yeah, they're just like it's Star Wars. I'm gonna go fuck with it, but
yeah.
I ain't gonna just. I mean, I'm kind of already bracing myself for it to not be. It's same thing with like Fast and the Furious. Like I'm a fan of the Fast and Furious series, but I only really care for like the first maybe like two. You know. Speaking of which, you know they got
They
another one
might as
coming
well
out, right?
fight the Avengers in the next movie.
You know they got one coming out, right?
I know they got like 3 more under contract.
Nah, I think it's just one more. I think
Yeah,
it's
they
the
had
last
like
one.
3 under contract.
Maybe they're doing spinoffs because this would seem like it's the last one, which
They all
I
seem
kind
like
of
the
hope it's the
last
last
one.
one.
People die and come back in these series. It's fine.
I won't. You know what? We were just
Family.
watching it.
Family.
We were just. We were actually just watching the trailer to the newest one earlier today, and
Are these
I already
niggas
got it
fighting
in my.
on Mars? Are they racing on Mars?
Nah. They actually fighting. They fighting Jason Momoa in this one. I guess this one picks up from Fast Five.
What?
Where
So
they took
what?
the
This
fucking.
nigga, this his cousin that's got superpowers too.
Nah, I think he's so Jason Momoa is gonna be somehow tied to the people in Brazil from Fast Five. When shit, whenever they stole the big ass fucking safes and shit,
I have
it was
no
driving down
clue.
the
I
street.
don't know what happened after the third one.
Oh well, it's just know that it gets very silly after the third.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. I've seen clips where these niggas can like fight on top of trucks. They can hold up.
Oh, these niggas went to outer. I think they went to outer space in the last.
They
one.
did. They did like a slingshot maneuver and went out of space.
Yeah, it was just like, and I want to say they took the cars. It was just like, come on, man. What are y'all?
That's why
doing?
I said the next movie they gotta fight the Avengers. Like that's the only way you make it better.
That would be some crazy shit. The Fast
and
the Furious versus the Avengers.
They gotta win.
Who the Fast and the Furious?
Yeah,
that would only
because of family. Because of family. That's the only
way. I'm saying it's stupid, not because of the idea that you're coming up with, but that's just how ridiculous the Fast and Furious has become.
No, because it is that stupid.
And it's crazy. Stupid. I had made a joke earlier watching the trailer. I was like, why are these niggas always fighting against planes? Like, what the fuck?
And
I don't know. I'm just ready for not Vin Diesel, but Dominic Toretto. I'm ready for Dominic Toretto to fucking die.
He's never gonna die. When he dies, they're gonna be like, that wasn't the real Dom. The real Dom has been locked up in this cave for years. Yeah. And they was like, that was a clone. Now when the real one come out, that's when that nigga gonna be Shazam. So it's fine.
I guess. Have you seen Shazam? Just saying. Have you seen Shazam?
Nah, I'm not watching that shit.
Man, I think I went maybe 30 minutes in.
I'm not watching it.
And then I was like, fuck this. I'm going on Netflix to go watch Shameless. Like, that shit was just
that's
trash,
way
man.
better.
It was. That was another movie where I felt like he was just basically pissed off for no reason.
Yeah.
Like he was mad about some old shit, came to the world and was just like, I'm just gonna destroy people. Black Adam. Yeah, with The Rock. Black Adam. Yeah, Shazam did have a movie though, right?
Yeah. Didn't watch it.
No, I never seen that one. It looked too cheesy. It looked stupid. But
with back to Black Panther, what parts did you think was at least decent enough to rewatch?
I wouldn't say that it was rewatchable, but
good. It's not. I watched it twice.
It's not rewatchable at all. As a matter of fact, I lied to you when I said I was going to watch it again before we did this podcast.
Yeah, I know, because you couldn't take it again. It's too much pain. I watched it twice.
It's just too
thinking
much.
That it was like maybe I was just overjudging it or whatever. No, I got even more pissed off the second time.
But again, spoiler alert for those who haven't seen it. Don't watch past this. But the part that really stood out to me the most, or the part that I appreciated the most, I guess, was when she took the fucking herb and went to go see the ancestors. And she didn't go see who she thought she was gonna go see. She fucked around and went to go see Killmonger.
Yeah, but everybody knew that shit was coming.
I honestly didn't. You know what, Keenan? To be honest with you,
you thought it was gonna be her mama. She just died.
No. I just completely forgot about Killmonger. Prior to seeing it. But I did like his part in the movie. He was kind of like damn near the realest person in the movie. You know, basically saying like, oh, well, you expect to see your mama, your daddy, your brother. Nah, you got me because you got hatred in your heart. And let's keep it 100%. Like, you feel this way.
Yeah,
So
you want to be
this is
me.
you want to be like me. You gotta, hey, what you feeling right now, run in the family. Don't
Yeah,
forget, we blood. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. Then they hit it with that. How does it feel to be me? Like
he
off of
did.
500.
He did. He did.
Yeah. Yeah.
He did. But outside of that, man, that was really the best part of the movie.
Yeah,
Like,
because
was
for
that?
one, the queen died for no
Yeah,
reason at all.
yeah. It was like, oh, well, let's just kill somebody else.
Yeah,
Like,
there was no reason for her to die as well. She was in the same
no,
water with the same girl and everything. And she came out. They technology. She should have woke up.
yeah, it was whack. But let me talk about the most disgusting part of the movie, man. Not
Riri
disgusting.
Williams.
The most disgusting character of the movie.
Riri Williams.
Riri fucking Williams.
Try it.
I don't know if it was I don't know if it was the actress. I don't know if it was the writing. I don't know if it was a combination of both. But
I think it was a combination of all of it. She shouldn't even been in the movie.
I did not like her character. I did not like the way she was portrayed. I felt and it wasn't because she was on some hood shit. She could have been a hood character. I just felt
She wasn't even hood though. She was like that person that's trying to be hood.
I just felt like whatever she was doing, it felt really forced and it felt fake and it just didn't feel very genuine. Her character did not feel genuine at all. Like,
that's what I'm saying. She
I
felt like
was
she was
really
trying
upset with the
what
way
white people
it
think hood is like. That's what she was.
Yeah, possibly. Could be. You may be right, but I don't know. It was just she was a little much for me. She was really painful to watch on that movie, man. Like, just I couldn't do it.
She
You know
almost
what I
didn't
mean?
even acknowledge the fact that Tony Stark, she used all of his designs and whatnot. She acted like she was like, I'm smarter than him, so my shit is better. Like for her to come up with the design like the Jarvis and everything, where did she get that technology from? How was she able to do that?
Right.
She didn't come up with it on her own. She had to have blueprints or something from Tony Stark. She didn't.
Yeah, you would have had to have studied Tony Stark at some point.
Yeah, but that wasn't even a thing. It was like, yeah, I'm just smart as hell because I'm a woman, I'm a black woman.
Yeah, and I felt like in her case they should have gave us more backstory. Granted, I'm not saying that Disney ain't gonna do it. They probably will make an Ironheart.
Oh, they will. They're gonna give her her own movie.
But you know, they almost kind of did her in the same vein as Captain America: Civil War when Tony Stark discovered Peter Parker. But
right,
Peter Parker gets the pass because how many times can you tell Spider-Man's origin? You know, we know how many times we know how he became Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So like,
and we got
to kind of throw him
Uncle Ben die, man.
Right. We could just kind of throw him in there. They just kind of like threw her in there.
Yeah.
You know, without
but even with throwing her in there, she just wasn't necessary, and she was annoying as fuck for one. And at one point, I was like, just kill her so we can be done with this shit. We wouldn't have to go to war.
Right. But the only reason she was in the movie was because she built the device that was able to find the Aqua people.
Yeah, just vibranium. That was it. It finds it, so it was able to locate where it is, and it would have brought them straight to them. So you remember they destroyed the first machine, and she was going to build another one. They was like, "Nah, we got to go take this bitch out.
We got to go take her out." Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why Submariner is actually kind of pissed off because he probably thought they was going to try to take the vibranium.
They did. They tried. They came out there, and you remember them niggas was out there on the ship, and he sent his people out there, and they did. The sirens came out and made all them niggas jump off of the ship and kill themselves.
Yeah, right.
They was getting too close.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Overall, trash movie.
Yeah, man. I didn't like the fact that. Okay, so. Damn, I can't even think of her name, but Lupita.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lupita, she went out there and then was able to go out there in one ship and go rescue the princess and Riri, like with ease.
Really and truly, she was the hero of the movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't Shuri. All she did was just go fucking have a revenge fight.
Well, Shuri, she went out there to Telecon or whatever willingly. Like, she was like, yeah, I want to go. Capture me or whatever. I want to go see what's down there. And she got her homegirl fired for the shit. Oh
Oh
fuck
yeah, she
up.
sure did. She got Okoye.
Okoye, she got her fired, man.
Yeah, she did. She did. Man, I forgot what I was gonna say. Yeah, back to Lupita. Yeah, I felt like Lupita was truly the hero of the movie, man. Sherry was just on a revenge fight.
Yeah.
And it was like, and really and truly, now that you're talking about it more and more, she was only getting revenge because it was her damn fault.
Yeah, it was.
Because she decided to go down there.
She went down there and they was all friendly. They gave her a tour and everything.
Yeah.
She was in the suit, people swimming by us, waving and blowing bubbles at the bitch and whatnot. It was just like they didn't have beef with her at all. No, they was just like, just kill the other bitch y'all got over here, and then we'll be done. We'll be fine.
But then when Submariner got pissed off and did whatever he did to piss off, then she was like, "Oh, all right, I'm gonna go get him."
Well, he killed her
you should have went down there in the first place. That's right, he killed her mama.
Well, but he only did it because Lupita came and rescued them, and she didn't want to leave, but she took them anyway because of the orders of the queen.
Which means that Shuri shouldn't have took her ass down there anyway.
That's the whole point. You did this to your goddamn self.
Big facts. So, yeah, man. I don't recommend the shit, man. Just at this point, MCU, just leave Black Panther alone. Just like don't even.
The whole fact that they bringing out the son or whatever, it was just like, okay, we were supposed to get excited. This nigga's like 5. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, he's supposed to be the new T'Challa. Oh, speaking of which, M'Baku.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
They turned him into a bitch.
They turned him into a fucking buffoon. That's what they did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was just like, why the fuck does he even need to be at this point? Why is he even in the movie? Because he's literally served. So did he even fight at all? Did he even fight at all?
Yeah, you remember he hit the nigga with the stick on the boat?
Was that it?
And he pushed somebody off a boat.
Like I felt like
and he did the whole thing when she came down in the Black Panther suit, and the nigga was just like, nobody was like curious to ask her like what happened, how'd you get the powers, what's going on. He just went over there and just throw his arm out like arm wrestle now. And
they could have utilized him. They could have utilized him a lot more. Like they did a shitty job. They didn't want to.
He had to be weak because he's a man.
Yeah. Well, the woke bullshit is a bunch of bullshit. MCU need to stop.
Yeah.
They just need to fucking stop and get back to writing real stories.
Yeah.
Good stories, like good fucking stories. So
I don't think they're gonna figure it out because they can't do it with live action. They can't do it with the cartoons, the animation. They can't do it with none of that shit. So I think they're pretty much out of there. They need to get rid of the whole Feige and all of them. Get rid of all that shit.
Well, you know what? But you know what? I don't. We keep blaming Kevin Feige. I don't think it's necessarily Kevin Feige because Kevin Feige at the end of the day is the businessman. He's the one that's basically
just okay. Wipe it clean from the top. That's all I'm saying.
Kevin Feige is the one that basically says, "All right, well, let's get the people for the job. Let's get a rough copy of the let's get the blueprint right. Let's get the blueprint together. Send it to my desk, and then I'll greenlight it." And what he's doing at this point, because they've been doing so great financially, it's basically like anything that come across his desk is he's like
approving.
Good, let's go. Yeah. He needs to stop for a second and take and pause and just be like, "No, I don't like that. What if we did this? Let's change this." Because I can't say that he's bad. I mean, I know he has a hand in it creatively at some point or another, but it's like at this point he's so big at the top that he's just basically MCU is basically its own like self-sufficient machine.
Make a clean slate though. Get rid of all of them.
I get
people who's been working on it, get a whole new team in.
But that was the thing. Like Ryan Coogler, I think, and all right, people gonna hate me for saying this. I don't give a fuck. But to keep it 100, although I enjoyed the first Black Panther movie, it wasn't like my favorite. It wasn't great.
It wasn't a good movie.
Let's go ahead and get that out the way, just so we can keep it in context.
Yeah.
So, do I think that Ryan Coogler is a great director? Yeah, he's done good with Fruitvale Station and his other movies. Creed, like I think, didn't he do Creed? Like the Creed movies are great.
This nigga does anything great with Michael B. Jordan. That's about it.
Yeah, but like
he was in all those movies.
I don't feel like he's a good fit for the MCU. Personally,
that's what I'm saying.
You know, I feel like what he added to the MCU, it was like Okay, well, we know him for doing like this urban shit, right? Urban black, whatever. That's cool. And you could kind of see where he was adding that to it, especially like with
Yeah,
the
so
first
you can
Black
see the
Panther.
aesthetics and everything inside of Black Panther, where it was
Not
all
even
hip
just the
hop.
aesthetics, but like just sprinkling a little bit of hip hop. You know, you got
Yeah,
Kendrick Lamar and all of them on the soundtrack, so you can tell it's Ryan Coogler, but
right.
it's like I don't know if he can work well in the sci-fi. Like, I'm not gonna say I don't know if he could work well in the sci-fi world, but there's definitely room for improvement for him in the science fiction world.
Yeah,
And um, keep it 100%. I felt like after the success of the first Black Panther, this one, and this is just any Disney movie, basically, really, is that they get comfortable and they're just like, oh, well, we did it before. All right, we gonna do it again.
yes,
Just
just
here,
do it again.
take this and let's make a movie.
Yeah,
And I think
same
that's just
story,
kind of
just
how it
change.
went.
They changed the characters.
Yeah, I think that's just kind of how it went. So, out of 5 stars, what you give it?
Out of five, look, okay, even if it's out of 5 stars, I'm gonna give it a half a star.
Half a star.
Half a star.
Explain.
I'm only giving that half because I like the way it looked. The graphics were good. Story wise, dumb. Characters, dumb. They changed everything about it, and it was all based on their part to want to be like, we need to be more inclusive. It was agenda based. It didn't have nothing to do with the actual storyline. So if you can't keep the storyline going, because now what? Who's the next Black Panther?
I guess little T'Challa, but shit.
Right. So we gotta wait for
Unless
him to be an adult for this shit, right?
unless Disney
Because
gonna hang it.
she didn't even go down there and fight when they was like to do the challenge.
Oh, actually, let's hit the rewind button just real quick.
Okay.
You know what's really disgusting about this movie? You know what's really, really, really disgusting about this movie?
What's that?
I'm gonna tell you what's really disgusting.
Yeah, tell me about this shit.
Is that I sat there for however long that movie was.
2 hours and 47 minutes.
2 hours and 47 minutes worth of movie. Disgusted in the movie because I just wasn't overall happy with it. And even at the end of the fucking movie, I did not get not even a second of post-credit scene.
Nope.
That MCU, Ryan Coogler, Disney was fucked up. That was fucked up. Because at the end of the day, we want to know what the hell's coming next. Like
nothing.
Even if the movie is shitty, I just sat through all of the shitty Marvel movies.
Captain Marvel, and they still had an increase.
At the end of the day, I still want to know what the hell's coming next, and you did not give us that. I get it. We did this in memory of our friend Chadwick Boseman. That's cool. Maybe that was respect thing there, but y'all still gave us something. Like the only time you got to pass on
Endgame
not giving us post-credit scenes was Endgame and Infinity War. Because Infinity War, remember, it had a sad-ass ending.
It was sad. Nobody wanted to see nothing that was coming next, man. So everybody was crying.
It was within it, but it was within reason. It was within the correct boundaries.
Yeah, because I couldn't take it after Spider-Man disappeared, man. I was done.
Man, when Spider-Man disappeared, you damn near almost wanted to cry.
Yeah.
It was sad. Fucking Tom Holland did that shit.
Yeah. And he was like, don't leave me, man.
Yeah, no, it was a little fucked up. But like in this movie, it was like y'all could have gave us something.
But they don't have nothing in play. That's why they did. That's what I'm saying. There's no next Black Panther. Y'all could have easily just said scrap it. We're not doing it no more. If you want to,
but that's the thing, though. It didn't even have to have anything to do with Black Panther. Remember, every Marvel movie at the end of the movie tells you what's coming next, not necessarily related to a particular character. Like, let's say, for instance, in the Hulk, that's when we started getting, we started seeing the whole Avengers thing started to build.
Right. They were
at the end of
actual Avengers plan.
What was it? Was it in the Iron Man 2 when they found Thor's hammer? They were like, or was it Captain America? We found it, that whole thing.
Yeah.
Like they always kind of gave you some insight to what was fixing to happen.
That's fine, but they still had something to do with it. But that's why the fucking Avengers wasn't even at this man's funeral. So it's like no outside world was dealing with this movie.
It's still kind of fucked up. So, y'all really lost me with that. Of all the things bad in this movie,
not
having a post-credit scene was the worst thing.
If she was so badass because she took the damn herb, why she didn't go fight the challenge without the herb, because they got to take it out of you for you to go fight and become like the ruler.
Did she even fight? Did she fight the challenge? Oh, they did do the challenge scene.
She didn't do a challenge scene.
Oh, that's right. M'Baku showed up, but she wasn't there.
He was like, "She not coming, so who want to fight?"
Oh, he fought in her place.
Yeah. So basically,
so they done fucked up the whole
interpretation. Does it mean that he's gonna be king? If he won,
to me like it's all.
Did he lose? You know what I'm saying? Like, what happens after this?
To me, it sounded like they fucked up the entire tradition.
Yeah, because she ran from her responsibilities. So now
she ran from her duty.
Who the fuck is king?
And
they ruined the movie.
Yeah,
that's all.
Wakanda Forever was a shitty movie. I'm gonna just go ahead and say it. I can't give it. A lot of times I try to play nice and try to give it some sort of justification. There's nothing I can give this movie that makes me just be like, it was all right. Like it wasn't even all right. It was just like not good.
Yeah, I feel like whoever did this movie should never do another movie a day in their life. Not even a short film.
It was Ryan Coogler.
He can sit his goofy ass down for all I give a shit. I don't care. He can
go make Boys in the Hood 2 or something. I don't know. Just stay away from Marvel.
Yeah.
But nah. Well, he directed. I don't know if he wrote it. Because all these different things that kind of go into it. So maybe he directed with the best he had. I can't really get mad at Ryan Coogler. But the fact of the matter is, it wasn't.
They put his face. They put him on top to take all the blame.
Yeah, of course, because he directed it. Because I mean, it's always gonna go. Everything's gonna always go in the hands of the director, which makes sense because he's the one that's executing it. He's literally putting it all together, so it does make sense. But I have to go back and I don't know if he wrote it or not. I'm pretty sure if he did, he didn't write it alone. But yeah, no, not a good movie. Yeah. Not a good movie. I might give it out of 5 stars. I would give it like a 1. I would give it 1 star.
That's fine.
But I'm kind of like on the same boat. Like
half a star.
Aesthetically, visually, it was beautiful, so on and so forth. There were very, very few strong characters. I felt like the strongest character again was probably Killmonger in all 30 seconds of his appearance in the movie.
Yeah.
And story-wise, it was just not good. It was kind of all over the place. I mean, I do give Namor like a runner-up as one of the strongest characters. Because I'm not gonna say the guy who played him I think he did an okay job. I think he did pretty good. But again, he was working within
the bullshit.
What he had, Yeah. So, yeah, man, I'll give Black Panther Wakanda Forever 1 star, man. I really had higher hopes for it, being, because if we're gonna, because it is one of those few Disney films that is focused on representation. Because I'm not gonna say that the first Black Panther wasn't. It's just that they handled the representation wrong.
They handled it wrong in the first one. They went straight to like everybody was wanting to wear their African garb and stuff, and none of these niggas who was watching the movie was from Africa. And that had nothing to do with the movie at all. People actually thought that Wakanda was a real goddamn place.
Yeah, you know what? I ain't gonna lie. I got a little pissed off behind that.
It's a mockery, dog. Like, come on, man.
Well, not even that. It's just that. And I don't know if it's because maybe he was a lead character, but it wasn't like that they didn't have black people in the MCU before Black Panther.
Right.
War Machine was there. Like, we're not gonna root for War Machine.
Yeah, Luke Cage.
Falcon was there.
Blade.
Falcon was there. We're not gonna root for Falcon.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there was a lot of other Luke Cage. Like, Luke Cage had a series. People was on Luke Cage. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, but ain't nobody go in there wearing goddamn African garbs to go see the shit.
Luke Cage but Luke Cage is also in New York.
That nigga was hood as fuck.
Say what?
He was hood as fuck.
Yeah, he was hood, but but no, like the Black Panther did have a really, really, really big turnout, and that's not denouncing the whole Black Panther thing. I thought that was dope that it did what it did financially. I do like the fact that it was like, again, I do like the fact that it represented Black culture and all that good stuff, but I can't really get mad at the movie for that. It's just the response to it just kind of happened to work out that way for
Right, but I
whatever
like
reason.
even when you say represent Black culture, it wasn't representing Black American culture.
Right. That's true. That's true. That's 100% true. I won't disagree with that. But I mean, come on, black people,
Yeah,
is black people. We all the same black people at the end of
yeah,
the day. Um, we're just in different spots of the world. But I do 100% understand what you're saying. Like it was a turnout for different reasons.
yeah,
So I don't know, man. So I think that's my rant.
yeah. I'm glad you was able to get that off.
That's my rant on Black Panther. I think we used the entire episode
Which is fine.
to go to go ahead and get that out. I had to get that out of my system. I guess I'll have to kind of keep back up and get back on track
Yeah,
with the next couple episodes since I'm trying to get over this little hump now with this taekwondo school and all that.
yeah.
So
So
we'll get
the
it going.
next time we get on, I think we need to start discussing some of these other movies like we were talking about the other day. Shout out to Blackbusters with Big
Shout out to
John
Blackbusters,
and Brother
Big
Tone.
John, and Big Tone.
Yeah, man, they doing a good job over there. So y'all go check them out. But they can have a conversation about all these black movies, and we talked on the phone the other day about actual House Party and how the recast would be. And I still think that if it would have been Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff, that Jazzy Jeff wouldn't have been a good play, but he would have been a good Bilal. But Malcolm Jamal Warner, he would have been a good play.
And I know we had this conversation before,
Right.
so I'm gonna respond the way I responded to before with everybody watching. But my thought was that it's a two perspective view for me.
Right.
Like seeing both sides of the fence. Like with Malcolm Jamal Warner, it was okay. He could play a good play because he has the suave,
yeah,
and the smoothness to it, but play also had a little bit more of a rougher edge.
Yeah,
which we'd never really seen Malcolm Jamal Warner
do. But that's based off of what you've seen. I'm pretty sure
that's based off what we've seen.
Been able to pull it off.
Right, because I also mentioned that the other day because with Kid and Play, we were young. We saw Kid and Play. We didn't think that they were like bad guys, which they never really came off that way.
Right.
Before the movie, you never really hear them cuss, do all this other stuff. You didn't really start seeing all that until we saw House Party.
Yeah.
So that's where the dynamic could have changed if we took Malcolm Jamal Warner fresh out of the Cosby Show and into House Party. Yeah. My only thing is that because we know that originally the role was supposed to go to DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. I agree. I don't know if Jazzy Jeff could have put in a good play.
He wouldn't have been.
He probably would have been more along the lines of Bilal, but
because he was great in the Fresh Prince as like the dude that comes in for every 2 minutes and get thrown out. That's all he needed. He didn't need too much screen time.
But I also feel like if we were to give those roles, like if we just in general, if we'd have put DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince in the movie, right?
Yeah.
The idea would have been to basically replace Kid and Play in that role. So to take Jazz and put him into Bilal's spot really kind of changes the dynamic of the movie in my perspective. Because at the end of the day, we were like the original House Party was going off of Kid and Play's chemistry.
Yeah, and it was good promotion for both of them, but he still would have been in the movie.
It was going off their chemistry. And although we know that DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince has good chemistry, it would have been a little weird unless House Party would have been written in a different way. Whereas if Jazzy Jeff was the DJ and Fresh Prince was the rapper, and like they worked that dynamic like that, and then maybe just done away with the Bilal character altogether.
Maybe, but I mean, it's still the dynamic of the movie wouldn't have made it a classic. I feel like the reason it was a classic is because they had the chemistry on screen because they knew each other, and nobody else can pull off the dance.
That's true, because you really didn't just see Will Smith dancing.
He's not a dancer, bro. Everything he did,
he's not a dancer.
He was just doing goofy shit. He wasn't.
He was just big, right. Yeah, he's not a big dancer. But yeah, I don't.
Everybody who does the Kid and Play step, they do it good when they go into the front. But when they turn around and do the kick and then they go and do it in reverse, nobody's doing that.
Oh yeah, nobody ever does it right. It's everybody can get that first step, but you got to remember it's the clack clack, turn around, all of that.
But then they kick and then they go and do it again backwards. And I mean, they was on point, bro. There was nobody else could have done that shit because they did all the shit together.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If they did put Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff in there, it would have been the movie would have. Which I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure it was a different script until they were like, okay, well, Fresh Prince and Jazzy Jeff can't do it, so we gotta make it. We got to switch it up to make it fit for Kid and Play. So,
yeah,
I think it. You know what? I think it could have had the potential to be a classic if they'd used the other guys. It's just that now that we've seen it,
right?
I mean, we're also speaking in retrospect. So it's like looking back at it because we've already seen it and experienced it so many times. It's really kind of hard to see it any other way.
Yeah, because even if they did, if say Fresh Prince did it and somehow it was still good, they still wouldn't have been able to pull off Class Act either.
There may not probably even been a Class Act.
That's what I'm saying. So if they would have done it, that movie probably wouldn't exist.
It would, Kid and Play's chemistry was just too good to like not keep making other movies. So, which I mean, I thought Class Act was good, but it don't hold up. To me, it doesn't hold a candle up to. Because I also feel like Blade Brown and Class Act. I felt like that was when Play was being a little too exaggerated.
Yeah, it was too exaggerated.
Which I mean, in the original House Party, I'm not gonna act like they weren't over actors in that movie. They were definitely over actors in that movie.
I mean, come on, man.
It worked.
It
worked.
It was supposed to be.
Like Full Force was definitely overacted. Stab,
100% over the top. Stab
was like mad over the top. First and foremost, the nigga was 40 in the 12th grade. Like, how in the hell did Reginald Hudlin even think that would work? You know what I'm saying?
It did though.
But it did.
It worked. No matter what, it worked.
It did work. But that was, what was funny about House Party? I don't think we talked about it in the podcast when we talked about the movie before.
Yeah.
Do you realize they talked about this in Blackbusters? We never really paid attention to how malicious Full Force was in this movie.
Yeah, no, we didn't. Yeah, we didn't. These niggas really wanted to murder somebody.
We was laughing about it, but these niggas was trying to kill.
Yeah,
they
weren't trying to just beat this nigga up or whatever, throw him in the trash can. The typical shit bullies do. They wanted to kill this nigga.
But here's the thing. This is what makes it even funnier, though. This is what makes it even funnier. Not only was it the fact that he was ready to murder these motherfuckers, it was the reason why he wanted to murder this motherfucker. Kid gave this nigga a bad day because he bumped into him with some spilled milk.
Hey, man.
That was it.
That's part of
this
life.
Nigga literally was crying over spilled milk. He was really pissed off. But this nigga... Let me tell you how fucked up and how mad this nigga was at Kid. This nigga said that he was so mad at him that every time he was getting ready to smash a girl, when I was ready to wax that ass,
he couldn't even fucking
get that ass
because he was thinking about Kid.
Why are you thinking about and I'm glad that the other two dudes kind of pointed that out. It was like, I don't know about you, but I ain't trying to think about that one. I'm trying to get me some, But can Kid really have been that much of an annoyance?
He
had been that much of an annoyance.
I don't think he was, but they got some people in the world that you meet and you just don't like for no fucking reason. There's somebody in the world that you just don't like. I think he was that nigga for him. Because they still wanted to kill a nigga in part 2.
But was it not petty?
That's all. It was petty.
It was hella petty.
Okay, it's petty, but I can be petty at times, and I know I'll be petty. If it's somebody I don't like and I don't fuck with, I tell them I don't fuck with you like that. But it's somebody I may work with, or just I may have a mutual friend with and shit like that. So they just kind of be in your area. But I tell them I don't fuck with you. Don't just keep your distance. But in my mind, I'll be waiting on one little thing to be like, I'm gonna smack the shit out of this nigga.
Yeah,
but no, it don't matter what it is.
All I'm saying is all Kid did was get up from the table.
And that's the only reason he needed. That's all the reason he needed.
And throughout the entire movie, this nigga was mad at Kid for that. Because
and in the second one, he wanted to kill a nigga in the second one.
And was ready to burn the house. I'm sorry,
But
again,
see, I get it. You want to kill kid. That's fine. You want to do that. This nigga wanted to burn everybody at the party.
He wanted to commit basically mass murder. He wanted to
Yeah.
what's it called? Genocide. He wanted to do genocide.
And I think
You know
he
what I'm
wanted
saying?
the house to burn, and whoever ran out, they was gonna beat the shit out of him with that bat. Nigga, nobody was gonna make it out alive.
Look, man, whatever bullies I might have had in high school, they might have said some shit or maybe picked a fight. Like, okay, whatever. You get to a
See,
fight.
this
you
is
get to
what
a
they
scuffle,
should have
whatever.
done with the new house party. They should have made it this way because they doing everything with all these sitcoms and flipping them and making them horror. They could have made it to where these niggas actually was killing people. It would have been better than this bullshit they just came out with.
I still ain't seen it. I don't. I might wait for it to come out on like Netflix or something. I don't know, but I'm not in a rush to go watch it. But yeah, these niggas was on some murder shit. And truth be told, the way they portrayed them in the movie, niggas look like they might have killed a nigga or two. Because they was mad
when they went to jail. It
wasn't them niggas was mad comfortable.
They wasn't their first time.
Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. Let's talk about the jail scene.
Yeah.
It was something that I never really paid attention to as a kid, and maybe others did. Maybe I'm just a little bit slow. All them niggas was like fruity than a motherfucker in that jail cell.
Oh, that was their way. That was always a way to deter people from going to jail when you're a kid because you might get butt fucked. So
yeah, but
that was their whole thing. They don't want you to go to jail because this is what's gonna happen. Oh, you got stuck.
I get that. It was like on some like I get that. But like, as a kid, you see the dudes in the jail cell, they just hardcore and muscle bound killers, right? But as an adult, when you start really paying attention to what the hell they saying, you like, oh, these niggas is gay. Like,
everybody wanted to smash the new weed.
They wanted to smash. So I just thought that was really kind of funny, man. But at the end of the day, man, we sitting here laughing about House Party. I'm not gonna sit here and act like it wasn't a classic because it's definitely a classic in black cinema. So that episode of Blackbusters, man, yeah, definitely big shout out to Big John, Big Tone, and all them that was talking about it. That one episode, and I'm not gonna go too far into it because I know we got to get off here.
Yeah.
But the one episode when they talked about soul food, I did watch it all.
Okay.
I kind of get what you were saying about old dude.
Right.
I kind of get what you're saying about old dude. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I can't really get mad at it the entire time because when Big John them was kind of really sharing their perspectives, because you can't convince nobody to believe nothing, right?
Yeah.
But when they were sharing their perspectives and kind of rebutting against a lot of things he was saying, there were times where he did see their side of it. He was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
He kept pushing it. He kept pushing
it real hard.
What's her face?
Over Terry.
He made it seem Terry was the victim, and it's not the case.
It wasn't.
The only thing that Terry was a victim of, her husband fucking her cousin, which she basically pushed him into doing. Doesn't mean it was right, but she did
push him into doing it. But it was kind of fucked up because the other sister did steal her husband from her.
Hey man, black families happens.
What's the difference?
Just saying. That was back in the day.
I mean, I get it. It's back in the day, but I do agree. I feel like he was a lot of the points he was making were very valid points, but he was also making it seem like she was not a flawed person, and that was like so far from the truth. Everybody in that movie was flawed.
Everything that happened to her is a reaction to how she was treated.
It was a reaction to how she treated other people, right?
Yeah.
So, but we could talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get on some more episodes of that because I have been kind of watching it very religiously. They were talking about Tales from the Hood, and I really felt like I could have been in on that conversation, sitting in the room with them. So maybe we'll touch base on some of them movies and stuff like that, man. Because Tales from the Hood was. Speaking of, before we go, did you know that they had a part 2?
Yes.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
We'll talk about that. But all right, man. I guess this is a good time to go ahead and bring the show to a close, man. Is there any shout outs that you want to make?
Yeah, man. Big shout out to Crystal as always, man. Um, always been there holding it down for us. Shout out to MJ. Shout out to Uncle Marlos for showing up, pulling up. What's up, Christopher Allen, man? How you doing, brother?
See, Alan, what's good, big
You know
homie?
what I'm
We
saying?
got to
So
get you
shout out
on.
to them,
We
everybody
got to
pulling
get
in.
Chris on one day.
Yeah, man. So
Let me.
eventually when we doing live, man, hopefully we can start bringing people in and getting their perspective on stuff. And man, I want to give a big shout out to Miss Sean, man. I really appreciate the weekend. Enjoyed everything. Amazing time. So, many more to come. We gonna make something happen, man.
Bet. Yeah, same here, man. Shout out to Uncle Marlo. Shout out to MJ. Uh, Shout out to Crystal. Crystal's number one fan. Always supporting the show.
Yeah,
Always, on the Patreon. Our one patron, so on and so forth. Shout out to C. Allen. I want to give a quick nugget about C. Allen, man.
yeah,
See, if you don't know Chris, you were missing out. Chris is a funny dude. And me and Meech be picking on him all the time about it. But Chris is one of them type of dudes that'll say some shit, and we sitting here and laughing our asses off. Chris kind of looking at you like, the fuck y'all laughing at?
yeah.
Like he's one of them kind of dudes. If you don't follow him on Facebook or Instagram and pay attention to his posts, Chris will have you fucking falling out of your chair laughing.
Yeah.
So thank you for popping up on us, Chris, man. Thank you so much. Chris is also a phenomenal photographer.
Yeah.
He done been out there with the celebrities and stuff like that, but he also has this event called Shoot Your Shot that is a very dope event that he does.
Man, y'all check it out.
Shoot Your Shot. It's a very dope event where you get to learn all kinds of dope shit with your camera phones and as a photographer, as a creative in general, and it's a great way to get out there and go meet people and stuff like that. So if you do not follow Chris, definitely follow him on Facebook. Make sure that you follow Shoot Your Shot. Make sure that you follow Shoot Your Shot on Instagram and everywhere else he's on social media. So shout out to Chris.
Yeah, man.
And again, definitely big shout out to King Tiger Taekwondo, man. We were able to work with them last week. We covered a whole school. We got like mad orders coming in. So we got a lot of support there. And also he was like, I got friends in the area. So
yeah,
we're going to hook you up in other spots. So
yeah,
definitely a big shout out to them. I think that's it. You got anybody else?
No, that's it, man.
Okay.
Valentine's
All right,
Day,
well,
man, y'all go ahead and find y'all somebody.
Yeah, big hey, happy Valentine's Day, bitches.
Yeah.
Make sure that y'all go eat good food and get your smash on. And if you're alone, hey man, lefty is always fun.
Full Force was it was 3 Devos, bro.
Full Force was a lot of Devos, fam. But yeah, if you've seen the show before and you enjoy what you see, man, make sure that y'all look, check us out on YouTube. Y'all make sure that y'all hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit us up in the comments, man. Definitely make sure that y'all make sure that y'all share these videos because this is the way that we get to spread our word and have these conversations, man. This is the philosophy of the show, man. It's not about having an adult conversation. Don't always have to be serious about politics and all this other stuff. We literally sit here and talk about nothing because a conversation about nothing is a conversation about everything. So
everything.
We got to have these conversations. It's never awkward. Y'all having these conversations behind closed doors.
Appreciate the follow, Sir Antonio.
Appreciate the follow. Appreciate that, Sir Antonio. Thank you, sir. Thank you. And I'll be paying attention to you, man. We follow you on Instagram, and we definitely appreciate your support. But yeah, make sure that y'all subscribe to us on YouTube. Also, if you want to support financially, man, go ahead and hit us up on Patreon. It's gonna be down in the link below on YouTube. And what else? We got merchandise. We got dope ass t-shirts. So make sure that you hit the merchandise link.
Yeah, we need to check the merch. My boy Brent keeps saying he's been trying to get some stuff, and for some reason it hasn't been working. So we need to.
It hasn't been working. Okay, so I'll go ahead and make sure I get that fixed up for y'all. And what else? Is that it?
That's pretty much it, man. Hopefully, whenever I get my tech savvy stuff going on, man, I can start bringing in some more content just as well as you doing with your rants and crackpot theories. So once we get that down, we'll start to get y'all a little more content. It's gonna be
because we're gonna be having more than just these conversations. Like he got some stuff that's coming down the pipe. I got crackpot theories and rants going on right now. So we got tons of stuff going. Tons of stuff coming out right now. So I think that's just about it. And thanks again for all who sat in and watched the podcast with us this episode. And man, make sure that y'all follow us and spread the word. You know what I'm saying? It's the only way this thing can grow and get out to more people. And kind of help us bring the content because we want to have the conversations with y'all too, not just us, with everybody.
Yep.
So, with that being said, we will catch y'all next week. And until then, peace.